General Motors recently unveiled the new C8 2020 Corvette, a mid-engine Corvette, and well, it is fast. The numbers are impressive, folks. Under $60,000 and 0-60 in under 3 seconds. But this 2019 ZR1 is front engine, but it is no slouch. The stats here are just as impressive. 0-60 in 2.85 seconds and a top speed of over 210 miles an hour. And this thing can hit 0 to 100 in 6 seconds flat. With 755 horsepower, this thing is a work of engineering. And we're going to take a look at it today, sort of as a goodbye to the front engine Corvette. Let's get into it. But first, a big shout out to Kuhn Chevy Buick GMC of Clarksville for letting us take a look at this Corvette right here. They are the first dealer we've worked with, and now look where this channel has come. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. We make videos like this every week, and we hope you enjoy it. Once again, a big shout out to Kuhn's of Clarksville, especially Eric, for making this video possible. Let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna start here on the front of the Corvette and work our way around as we do this exterior. And all I'm gonna say is this just looks mean. Cole said it looks a bit like an insect. To me, it looks more like a shark. You have this wide gaping mouth right here, which has these cool sort of strands of metal. This almost looks bendable, but it comes to these really aggressive, finely engineered points right here, how it curves like that. And it creates this really cool, almost spiderwebby look of metal flowing like that. Right below that, you have the $1,700 carbon fiber splitter. This thing, it just complements the red here so well, this deep red. It really is very well complementing those two colors. As you come here, you have your Corvette badge. It's very nice. That's not just a regular Chevy badge. The Corvette has always had this badge, and the race flags, it really just shows the racing heritage of this vehicle and the insane performance that comes with it. The headlights here, they continue this mean, aggressive theme of the vehicle. You have these sort of little boxes right here coming down like this, and then you also have sort of a curved L shape right here, along with an additional beam right in there. And the shape of the headlights is very creative. It molds with the vehicle. It doesn't stick out in any way. It almost looks like it's just part of the bodywork that's clear. It's a very cool look, and overall, this thing just looks sharp and aggressive. So still here at the front of the Corvette, you can see you have this long, aggressive hood, which is going away with the C8. And this is one thing I'm gonna miss as the C7 goes away. However, this one right here is done very well, very tastefully, this hood. You can see right here, this carbon fiber right here. This is part of the engine. This hood just bulges up almost like about 4 inches from where a normal Corvette would go. That's just very interesting how the hood has to bulge to fit that massive supercharger and 6.2 liter engine. It's just incredible how this is shaped and how the engine sticks out like that. So you also have these ZR1 badges on the side of the hood, which are very neat. Now this right here is the actual engine. There's a hole in this hood. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna pick this up right here, and we're gonna get into the power plant in a bit. Right now we're just talking about the aesthetics of the engine bay. However, you can see this is your engine right here. And I know usually we say we like to see the exposed engine. However, I think if you're gonna have the engine covered, this is the way to do it, with this carbon fiber right here. And then you can see me through this hole right here. It's a very neat look, a very unique look, especially for a front engine car, and I really like it. So right now you all are looking at is what, in my opinion, is probably the best angle for this car, this front angle right here. It just looks so long and aggressive and mean. So if we start with these wheels, as we talk about the side, they are very good looking. These dark gunmetal almost wheels. They're very angular, very sharp, continuing that theme from this car. But what's more interesting is what's behind those wheels. These are the biggest brake calipers in GM history. They are carbon ceramic and take 7 months to make. That is very impressive. They're very, very cool to see on this car. As we move back, you have more aero stuff. So you have these big air scoops right here that are taking out hot air from the engine. They look very good. They're carbon fiber. They complement the red in this particular vehicle very well. I really like this, and they are real. They're not fake, but you would expect that on a high performance car such as this. As we move back a bit, you have these side skirts right here. They're carbon fiber, very good looking. Again, they're a nice contrast to the red of this vehicle. And what's interesting is you'll see they curve right here. They curve in, and that's why when you're stepping in and out of your car, you don't step on them and damage these very expensive carbon fiber side skirts right here. Now we're here at the rear of the vehicle, and I just think this continues that fantastic crazy supercar-esque look. You have these super wide hips right here with this carbon fiber air scoop right here. It looks incredible. It's very well designed, and just as the cab of the vehicle kind of comes back and it tapers in, you have these wide hips flaring out. It really is like a factory body kit. It is very impressive. You can see the fenders flare out to cover the wheels, and something that I didn't notice in the front that I'm seeing back here is ZR1 is stamped into these wheels. That is a very cool touch, and something you would expect at, you know, $150-ish thousand for this top of the line Corvette. So now we're going to move around to the back. So here we are at the back of the Corvette, and first thing you notice is you can really get an appreciation for how wide this vehicle is. You can see that sloping, tapering passenger area and these wide flaring hips. It's just a really impressive, intimidating look. Moving back, we have this wing right here. This is not the crazy performance wing that's gigantic. This is a more low-key, just small spoiler that's going to give you some downforce, and this one does give you a higher top speed than the crazy insane one that comes with that performance package. Moving down from that, you have a bit of a clean area right here in the middle of the Corvette. I really like it. It just makes the badges the focus of the vehicle as you look into this area. It draws your eyes there to this clean spot with these two badges telling you you are driving a performance beast. Moving to the side of that, you have your tail lights right here. I like these tail lights from afar. I personally don't like how they have little lines in them. However, Cole and Colin disagree with me on that. They like it. That's a, you know, something that you'll have to decide if you like or not. And also it's cool how they're outlined in this black right here, along with this little air vent right here. You have a vent right here and right here on each side. So it's cool that you have more ventilation around the vehicle. Other than that, as you move down here, you have that classic Corvette 4-pipe look. I mean, this is something I'm gonna miss with the C8. The C8 does not have this, and that makes me very sad. You have these 4 flaring exhaust pipes, and they each have little holes in them. It's a very cool look, and I'm gonna miss this in the future. And of course, how could we talk about the exhaust without listening to how they sound? I want you to listen to this clip. You'll first hear it with the valves closed in the exhaust, and then you will hear it with the valves open, like when you go into track mode, these valves open. Listen to what a difference this makes. Here we go. So we're going to take a look at the trunk of the Corvette real quick. A few interesting things. First, the sort of sun black material right here is the Corvette logo. If you look at it very closely, that is very neat. As you move down a bit, you can see that this trunk is big. It is soft close, which is very interesting. But as we pick it up, it barely clears the wing. There's maybe half an inch between the wing and the trunk. But as you open it, you'll see that you actually have a lot of usable room right here. Now, at the moment, there is a clear roof in here. You remember the Corvette does have a removable roof, but if you don't put the roof in here, it's certainly a usable storage space. This is a very practical sports car in many ways. So the exterior of this Corvette, it really screams performance machine, which is what this is. This torch red color with this carbon fiber create a really nice contrast. This is a mean machine, and it's got a crazy power plant in it and a crazy interior. So we're going to take a look at those right now. Let's move on to the engine.
Right here is the heart of this 2019 ZR1 Corvette, or any Corvette for this matter, but this one is special. This is an LT5 6.2 liter supercharged V8 with 755 horsepower. You heard that right, 755 horsepower. It is insane. This, combined with the 335 Michelin Pilot Sport 2 sticky tires in the back, lets this get a 0 to 60 of 2.85 seconds. Jake said before, it hits 106 seconds flat. Its quarter mile is 10.6 seconds, and it has a 212 mile per hour top speed. That is absolutely insane. The performance of this car is crazy. So now with the engine cover closed, I'm going to talk about 2 things. One you should care about, and one you should not care about at all. First thing is something you shouldn't care about, the miles per gallon. You get the fuel economy on this high performance sports car. You don't get it for the miles per gallon. You get it for the sportiness. It has a 15 combined, that's 12 city, 20 on the highway. I mean, it's whatever. One thing you should care about is this 8-speed automatic. Shifts faster than a Porsche PDK. That is very crazy, and that is why this has a 0 to 60 of under 2.9 seconds. The race car vibes do not stop on the exterior of this car. They carry on completely from when you open up the door. This latch right here is insane, unique, not like any other car, And just looking at this, you have the big Corvette side still here. These carbon fiber markers give you a little bit space so you don't break them when you step in, and you sit so low in this car. Stepping down, you sink right to the floor. So in the interior of this Corvette, I don't really expect that much from a luxury standpoint. This is a high performance car. Corvettes notoriously have never been crazy luxury. You have that traditional Corvette smell in here because everything's kind of plastic and glued together with an adhesive. That's the Corvette smell, you know, hard plastics here, hard plastics here, but it doesn't really matter because it looks sick. This red stitching matching the torch red color on the outside, it's insane. The carbon fiber on the steering wheel, the top and bottom of the steering wheel with this ZR1 package here, the stitching still on the steering wheel, it all comes together so well. This carbon fiber on the top here, it almost, when the light hits it different, almost has like a brown tint. It looks so cool. I've never seen that before. The paddles here, they are plastic, but they feel good, the click, which is surprising. And from a sports car, you want the paddles to feel good. Now, obviously, since this is a high-performance car, everything is driver-centered. You can see this whole cockpit, this whole big area, it's all tilted towards the driver. In the passenger side, it's bare except for these two seat heated controls and cooling controls, because it'd be awkward for the passenger to reach over and kind of, you know, grab in the center console. But everything right here, it's all face. It's all geared towards the driver. It just gives it that race car cockpit feel. These seats are my favorite part of the interior. I didn't mention them earlier, but they are insane. They have this big competition padding right here, and the stitching is still continued through with this cool like bucket seat. If you turn the seat up, you can see like how the black comes all the way down the back. It looks really awesome. And it does have this interesting material on the roof here. It's like in between like Alcantara and like plastic. I don't really know what it is, but it's very interesting. And overall, this cockpit of this race car is sick. So it is a high performance car, so storage is not really, you know, something that you expect. You have this center console that you can fit like maybe 2 slices of paper in there. Not really that great on that. You have these sides, they can't fit much. These compartments, you have 2 cup holders, and you do have the craziest storage compartment I've ever seen on any car. This screen literally folds down, and you can stick like a couple phones in there. There's a USB port in there. That is so sick, and I've never seen that on anything. It's actually like a transformer. Obviously, you've got a glove box. Some other materials I missed earlier was this Alcantara material. That's not really Alcantara. Carries on to these little janky, tiny, you know, visors. That's kind of weird, honestly. But you do have this cool quilted material on top of the roof here. And honestly, it is pretty cozy. You know, on the driver's side, you are tucked in. You know, it is a race car, so you want to be, you know, really tucked in. Just to go on now to the screens, this system is kind of outdated and janky. You know, from a $150,000 car, you know, you'd expect a little bit more. This, I mean, look, the screen looks kind of cool how it's like serrated down here and comes up to like just a nice clean blue color up there. But honestly, it's not that cool. Some cool features that it does have, though, is it does have like a race timer. There's a camera on top of the roof that will record your lap times. It will show you how fast you've gone, your average speed, all sorts of cool stuff like that. So if you do track this car, that is a big plus. Now for the last part of this interior is this really cool tachometer. It's honestly very simple, but the way the colors kind of change on the top along the lines with that yellow, orange, and then that big red at the red line shows you that, you know, you're pushing this car to the red line. That's what you want to do. Besides that, it's very simple, not much to it. This car does have a heads-up display, so when you're tracking the car, you won't really have to look down at the tachometer because you want to be completely focused on the road. And yeah, good stuff. So getting out of this Corvette is pretty tough. It's so low. I think my feet are honestly less than a foot off the ground, which is crazy to think about. But you do have this nice electronic push button to open the door. Then you got to do a big step to get out, and then you're out of your Corvette. So now that we're wrapping up this Corvette video, this was by far all our favorite videos. This car is absolutely stunning. I mean, high performance looks inside and out, and it for sure has the speed to back up what this absolute beauty looks like. We were so excited to film it. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Leave suggestions for other cars you want us to do in the future. And special thanks to Coons Clarksville and, of course, Eric for hooking us up with this. I mean, we are astounded, honestly, and it was such a good experience. So thanks, guys.